Evaluation question 4. How did you use media technologies in the construction and research planning and evaluation stages? Throughout the entire project. The main piece of technology I used is a Dell Optiplex 2010 PC with an Ironman 19-inch display. It was on this that I completed all of my editing and most of my research. This computer was advantageous in that it has a good quality screen for detailed editing and is linked to the school system, so it's accessible anywhere on site, enabling me to take off my work where I left it. Contrastingly, it has a number of disadvantages, including its ability to run a series of tasks at once. This often resulted in me losing my work as the system often crashed. However, this could be resolved through the regular saving of my work. The second piece of technology I used is my HP Pavilion 15 notebook. I used this for research and admin away from school, to check footage on the go and for my evaluation questions. Its pros include its portability and suitable RAM and memory for the tasks I wish to complete on it. Its main drawback is the lack of software for editing and presentation, reducing the time I could spend on my portfolio away from school. I have used my iPhone 5S all through the length of this project in all its stages. I will elaborate on the more specific uses of this throughout the remainder of this video. WordPress is the blog platform I have harnessed throughout the entirety of this portfolio to present and organise my work. In admittance, I could have used this software more effectively from the start in order to fully utilise its tools and features. WordPress was beneficial in its ability to customise menus and use tags and categories to sort the faces of the portfolio. It also is easily aesthetically pleasing with a user-friendly interface. Despite this, I felt the website was limiting in some ways, as certain file types could not be embedded directly onto a post. Instead, it required the involvement of a third-party site, as I will elaborate on later in the response. At the beginning of the project, I created a Google account in order to attain an email address that I could use to register with these third-party sites. This account also supplied space on Google Drive, so my work was transportable and editable online, which was highly advantageous. Finally, with this account, I automatically had a YouTube account and therefore channel, which is essential for sharing the construction of my work alongside other pieces I've produced. Moving on to technology I've used during the research stages. The entirety of my research, and thus the project, began on a search engine. For the purposes of this project, Google search via Google Chrome was the most appropriate choice, as it is linked seamlessly with my Google account, and meant tabs, bookmarks and history could be revived on different machines. This meant for easy continuation of work away from my desk at sixth form. However, I am aware that search engines are subject to huge bias towards websites paid for by large corporations. This limited the variety of sources easily accessible, so deeper digging into the latter pages of results was required to bypass this. While conducting my research, I felt a deeper insight and understanding into society was required to create my construction effectively. To attain this, I watched a number of TED Talks. The 3 TED Talks shown here are the 3 I felt had greatest impact on me and my portfolio. These allow professional, comprehensive awareness into the media industry. A large amount of my research was sourced via Wikipedia. I used this to begin looking into what I was about to produce. It has millions of pages covering almost every topic, meaning the answers I desired could always be found somewhere on this site. Despite its advantages, the information on Wikipedia should be viewed with caution, as it is a forum in which anyone can contribute, so the facts and statistics could be incorrect. Much of my research was also conducted using Quora, a question and answer site again which anyone can contribute towards. However, unlike Wikipedia, the public's responses can be up and down voted and discussed, meaning I could determine for myself if that specific response was more likely to be reliable or not. Quora is also occupied by more visible professionals with comprehensive profiles detailing their areas of expertise. Given this, Quora was great for questions into the actual workings of the media industry, the answers to which is only truly known by those who work there. When conducting my primary research, I distributed questionnaires using eserve.org, a free survey website. To reflect on my use of this package, I would say I should have used it more effectively and more frequently to ensure the direction I was taking my project was suitable and effective for my target audience, especially given the fact the site had an unlimited amount of questions and questioning formats. In order to communicate my research, I used a range of presentation techniques. As mentioned, I've used WordPress for my blog, but I've also used it to write up certain research that was best understood in written posts, with images embedded where applicable. The main drawback to this method, despite its simplicity, is the fact that it is greatly uninteresting. I have used Prezi.com to generate visually stimulating documents that lead the viewer on a journey through their piece of work. This website kept my research interesting and includes thousands of free artwork, symbols and shapes, meaning production using it was quick and aesthetically pleasing. On the contrary, the interface is sometimes glitchy and restricting, meaning some even simpler operations could not be done. Given my laptop is touchscreen, I can use it to draw accurately. I have done this during my research on Microsoft Fresh Paint using a basic stylus. While drawing and writing up my findings, I used Screencast-O-Matic to record my screen, followed by Movie Maker to speed up the clip. All of the software I've just mentioned was effective yet time-consuming, so I've avoided using this presentation method more than once. A further website I've used to present my research is Pictochart.com. I've used this to create stylish infographic which I feel is concise and easy to follow. This website is similar to Prezi in a number of ways. It has many built-in graphics yet restricts you in rescaling and positions of elements. Similar to Pictochart and Prezi is Maze, used to create presentations on certain aspects of my research. During my research, I used a podcast to communicate my notes made upon certain topics. I created this using an Apple's voice recorder on my iPhone, then uploaded it to the iCloud Drive to access on my computer so I could edit it on Audacity. Audacity allowed me to cut the voice recording to great detail, tweaking areas where I made a mistake. However, the software does not support M4A files directly, so I had to convert it to the MP3 beforehand using an online package. I then uploaded the final podcast to SoundCloud, which is a free audio file hosting site. This website is very simple to use and even allows you to upload a track icon. The main thing I liked about podcasting is the freedom to speak new ideas and thoughts as they came to me. It also meant the research was more interesting than if it was merely written. However, I did find this method more impractical for when I wished to re-jog my memory on a certain point of research. Another Apple product I used to present my research is an iPad Air first generation, where I typed up my findings on notes and created sketches where needed. This hardware-software combination worked seamlessly together and was also portable so I could continue my work on the go. Once I completed the note, I used the screenshot feature by pressing the home and lock buttons simultaneously. A print screen then saved to my camera roll so it could be uploaded to my blog via the WordPress App Store app. When analysing existing products, I took screenshots of my iPad of YouTube videos and then transferred these to the app Paper so I could present my work. This app was created by the company 53, who have designed a stylus named Pencil to work seamlessly with the software. Using this technology, I was able to sketch and write around the screenshots easily as they are designed for one another. I've also used a variety of technologies in the planning aspect of my construction. The first technology I used was on Pinterest, a form of social media where mood boards can be created. Pinterest has a Chrome plugin that means any photo from any website can be pinned to a board without need for it to be copied or saved, which saved me lots of time. This effective method was useful for when I found an idea or photograph I liked so it could be saved instantly to be viewed later. I created another mood board during my planning, this time on paper. To recognise this work on my blog, I had to photograph it. I did this on a Canon EOS 1100D with macro lens, a 12 megapixel digital SLR camera. Due to the camera's high quality, it was excellent for this task, ensuring you could zoom into great detail and view individual parts, which was very beneficial. I also used this camera to photograph my paper storyboard, which was initially on a notice board, then transferred to a whiteboard where I could expand my annotations. The main disadvantages to using this camera is the file size of the photographs. Due to the high megapixels, the files took a long time to transfer between folders, leading to my frustration and loss of time. I filmed my drawing of a storyboard using an iPhone mounted on a selfie stick attached to the shelf above my desk using a clamp. I then added a second clamp as a counterweight to stop the shelf from pivoting. This technique is very advantageous in that the camera was out of my way, yet it still recorded everything it needed to. However, despite my phone having a 64GB capacity, it would often have full storage, resulting in filming stopping for long periods of time. I had to frequently copy and delete the files. Similarly, the constant recording was very detrimental to the battery. I then edited this footage on Windows Movie Maker for simplicity. This allowed me to speed the videos up and remove any unneeded sections quickly and effectively. Movie Maker lacks comprehensive editing abilities, however I did not require these features for this video, so it had very little impact on me. Another camera I use while planning is an Olympus SZ31MR 16 megapixel to photograph the settings for later reference, which was very time saving and useful when creating my shooting schedule. This schedule also included a risk assessment which was completed on Google Docs, which is a part of my Google Drive. The main benefit for this method is my ability to use a shot list on the go and continue it anywhere. I probably could have used this document more effectively, adding more columns to specify the details of each shot beforehand. Technology I have used for the construction stage of my project. Most of my filming was completed on the camera just mentioned, the Olympus SZ31MR, which is full HD. The lightweight compact camera was ideal to film the point of view sections, as I would have not been able to support any heavier camera using just my mouth. Another advantage included that it has an auto-stabilize feature, reducing the excessive shakiness filmed when walking. Contrastingly, the charge on the battery failed to last more than 45 minutes, so I had to either film quickly or take an anchor-portable charger with me and take a break to let it recharge. To hold the camera near my face, I used a sport action camera clamp designed to hold it to bike handlebars. By biting down on the screw-like pieces, I could keep the camera over my mouth and nose area, giving a most accurate point-of-view shot possible. This also meant I had both hands free available to participate in the video, enhancing the effect of the point of view. This method of filming also came with many disadvantages. For example, the bike clamp is not designed as a mouthpiece, so it's highly uncomfortable. Suspending the weight of a camera in between my teeth also caused toothache if I did not take regular breaks. The Olympus camera was also my camera of choice for filming the performance aspect of the video. As I wished to create a dynamic and energetic shots, the camera needed to be easy to move, hence a lightweight compact was ideal. The larger Canon camera would have been challenging to film in this way with. The Olympus was what I used to take the images of the sand dunes, beach, and initial hand for use in my ancillary tasks. This camera was ideal for this purpose for the reasons previously stated. To keep the footage stable, I used a tripod as a stabilizer, a cheap and reasonably effective way of reducing shaking. Although the footage was not as stable as it could have been, this technique was adequate for what I wanted to achieve. This tripod was also used to place the camera on in my car so I could film the sections with the band. The use of the tripod meant the camera could roll and film while I concentrated purely on driving. To film the point of view footage in the bedroom, the camera I needed had to be able to withstand the impact of hitting the bed, which the Olympus could not have done. Instead, I used the Garmin sports camera. By being damage-proof, I could really throw myself in the bed to fully convey the emotion of the scene, without the camera breaking. Like with the bike clamp, I used my mouth to hold the camera in place, which was again very uncomfortable. For the scenes in the swimming pool, I needed to use a completely waterproof sports camera. A small sports cam was placed in a waterproof casing and screwed onto the bike mount used for the point of view. Admittedly, my use of this camera was poor. It died multiple times during shooting as I did not fully charge it the day before. This camera also caused complications during the editing stages, as its frames per second was 1/4 of a second less than the other cameras, meaning edits were often jumpy, which was much to my disadvantage. Once I had filmed a scene, I opened the file folder in Windows Media Player, allowing me to preview the footage, delete the unusable, and make note of video numbers and times of good shots. Media Player was great for this, as it is designed for seamless use with Windows File Explorer, so videos can be deleted etc. from within the program. Despite this, the software was prone to freezing and crashing if opening large amounts of footage simultaneously. Cyberlink's PowerDirector 15 is the software I use to edit my music video. This package came with thousands of preloaded effects, graphics and animations, as well as access to thousands more on the Cyberlink's website. However, I did not use most of these free items as they were not the right style and convention for my project. Hence, I often felt they were slowing my PC without reason for being there. The full feature editor allowed me to play with my footage, cutting intricately, fixing and enhancing, and applying a wide number of effects. Sadly, the more I did to my footage, the slower the program got, often to the point of crashing and me once again losing my work. I also really like the motion tracking feature to PowerDirector, allowing me to have text follow a certain line and apply effects in specific areas, which was very, very beneficial. The main drawback to PowerDirector was its frequent crashing that I have mentioned, but it was also tricky at times to edit to a very specific point, as it would limit you on the number of places the video could be cut to. I felt this led to some of my cuts being out of time and beat with the music. While using Power Director, I felt some shots, like the low angle of the lighthouse, needed intricate colour regrading. I did this on Cyberlink's Colour Director 5. On this, I could adjust every tone and hue in terms of brightness, lightness, saturation, and much more. This was good news for my continuity, as I could change the shades of blue to match the sky in other shots. The main advantages to this is how easily the two programs link together. All I had to do was right-click and then select Edit in Colour Director, and then once edited, just click back. One main issue with this easy connection is that two softwares cannot run simultaneously. One would always close as the other would launch, which got frustrating if I wanted to compare back to my other videos. Furthermore, any adjustments I applied in Power Director were ignored in Colour Director, so I had to jot down the values of each filter or start from scratch, meaning I often lost a look I liked. The final major disadvantages to using Colour Director was its detrimental effect on the speed of Power Director. The clips I had edited on Colour Director always lagged hugely, causing my video to be frustratingly out of time. To edit my ancillary tasks, I use Adobe Photoshop CS15, a software I was already very familiar with from my foundation portfolio, which was beneficial in I required no time to familiarise myself with the tools, instead jumping straight into the construction, saving time. This also meant I was able to push the package to achieve complicated ideas, which the software is designed very well to do. Harnessing the folder feature, especially on the Digipack, was useful to sort my layers as there were very many of them. Like with the Cyberlink software, the computers weren't able to cope with the size of the program, so it often froze and lagged. Throughout the construction of my project, I used the print screen key to take screenshots of all my processes, pasting them onto a Word document so I can annotate them. I chose to initially copy them to Word, as it automatically sizes each photo identically, reducing the effort I had to put in later on. I then annotated the screenshots in Publisher using a template I created consisting of a title, photo frame, and text box. This method was very time efficient. In honesty, I should have print screened my work more frequently and consistently, as I often forgot for long periods of my editing, meaning there are gaps in the process of producing my work. Finally, the media technologies I used during the evaluation stages. I answered all of the questions on my laptop, meaning I could work on my responses anywhere, which is very beneficial in the run-up to deadlines. Evaluation question 1 was completed on canva.com, a free website to create graphics and presentations similar to pictochat.com. I presented my response in the form of an infographic, which should have meant it would have been used for images and symbols with very little text, which I did not do. Resultantly, I feel I should have used this website more to its purpose and alternative ways of communicating without words. This would have meant I produced work more aesthetically pleasing, more so given the quantity of free objects that are available to me. Again, like Prezi, the program was often glitchy and jumpy when moving, resizing and cropping objects, which was very frustrating. Also, when I was trying to drag a photograph into infographic, it would often fail to add or move to a different page. It became very time consuming. For our evaluation question 2, I created a Prezi based on the design I used during my research, using the website's duplicate feature. The main benefit to doing this was the time I saved in creating a new layout. I chose to use Prezi again despite its disadvantages, as I wanted to zoom in extremely far, which cannot be done with other presentation packages. To sort the points for this question, I wanted to form a Venn diagram, which required 3 hollow circles, a shape that Prezi does not have built in, meaning I had to save a clip out of one and upload, which wasn't too bad, but it was not easy as it could have been. I then planned my voiceover on Google Docs, recorded it on my iPhone and uploaded it to Audacity to edit again. Once trimmed, I used Movie Maker to combine the audio and video files to form a completed response to the question I could upload to YouTube and link to my blog. For the question and audience, I used my final product feedback that I attained on eserve.org again via social media links on Facebook and Twitter. This method was good as I ensured I reached my target audience. However, I felt my questions were too long and complicated for many people to complete it fully. I then collated my findings, analysing the data on Microsoft Excel, which it is designed to do, so this was very easy. I then created a podcast of my findings on my phone and edited it with Audacity to then upload to SoundCloud. Finally, for the question I am answering right now, I am recording on Apple's voice recorder on my iPhone. I then intend to upload this clip onto Google Drive to access on my laptop and edit it again on Audacity. Once again, I will combine this audio recording with screen recordings taken throughout the project and other images I took myself or have been sourced on Google, creating a video using PowerDirector. All in all, I have used a wide variety of media technologies, hard and soft, across all 4 stages of this portfolio, taking myself on many a learning curve along the way.